All right, so now that we are clear about Flask basics, let's start understanding concepts about database. So first of all, I'll go to the advanced Flask chapter. Then as usual, open this GitHub link, fork it to your account. So from CTOschool, it will come to my account. Okay. And let's go to internship folder. Type cmd, git clone, paste, new window, open folder, and Flask database starter, select folder. And my first step is to create virtual environment. So Python -m venv. So I can see the folder over here. Meanwhile, I'll check the README file so I can see. Okay, requisites is Python basics and Flask basics. Core structure part 1. So let's just check part 1. It says that we are using SQLIte. SQLIte is the simplest implementation of database. We have this virtual environment, scripts activate. Okay, so let's do that. So venv scripts activate, and then this is activated, looking good. Okay, so I'll open part 1 now, part 1 app.py. I'll just try to understand what is happening in the code first. But in the readme it says that okay, we have to install it. It is for the advanced part, so I'll ignore it right now. So I'll just have a glance at it, and then I'll check whether part 1 also has its own readme. So in the part 1, if I open it, okay, I can see that there is a small readme file in part 1. It says okay, basic Flask app with SQLite connection. What you will learn, okay, select and insert, creating database, and how to connect. Prerequisites, okay, how to run virtual environment Flask, we have got all of them, and then you test it. Okay, and then try modifying, add sample student. All right, so first I'll just read a few things. Now there is a shortcut that I use to read the at least understand the function name. So control K, control 0. I can see the list of all functions. So here I can, in a glance, I can understand there are 4 primary functions. There is root route, there is a index route, there is add route, and then there are 2 more functions. All right. So I'll open each one separately then. The other shortcut is control K and control square bracket. That's a bit advanced shortcut, so we'll ignore that. Okay, so first of all, we have one function which is saying get database connection. Here, what are we doing? We are saying connect to database. Database is students.db. It's one file, and this file I'll ignore for now. Then it says it returns connection. Then there is some other function says init underscore db, and it first gets the connection from here. So this return con is being received in this con, and then it says execute. What do you want to execute? Okay, create table if not exists, students. So students table with id, name, email, and course, 4 columns. Now the id should have integer, it should be primary key, and it should auto increment. So I can understand that id is integer, so it will have a value of 1 2 3 4. It says auto increment, it means that okay, it will automatically increase. So my intuition is that I will not have to pass id specifically manually. Then okay, so then name, which should be text and not null. So from not null I understand that name is mandatory for the database. Email is also mandatory, course is also mandatory. By text I can understand that okay, it can have anything, abcd, capital abcd, and percent, any symbol. So that's my intuition. Okay, so here we are creating a table, and then finally we are committing. Committing means save changes to database, and we are closing the connection. All right, so that's so this is like half understanding so far, I would say. Now we have one route. What is happening in the route? So we have a function, and then we are first getting the connection. Then we are saying that execute select star from students. So that's the SQL code. This is also SQL code. Now you, as we said earlier, you don't have to memorize anything. You just have to understand the meaning of the line. And eventually we are not going to write these queries. There are better ways to do that. So right now we'll just understand what is happening. So con.execute, by execute I can understand that it should execute something. And who will execute? It will be the con. What is con? Con is the connection. So con is connection of this data type coming from this SQLIte package which we have imported at the top. Import SQLIte 3. SQLIte 3 is the standard um, package for handling databases which are file-based databases that we'll see over time. All right, so it says select star from students and then fetch all. So you fetch all and then connect, close, and then pass students to students. I'll ignore this right now. Okay, so I think enough reading for now. In the name main, this is the first line that will get executed. So we are initializing DB, so that means that it will come here and database connection will get called. So the flow of the app, first it will come to line number 75, then 76, then it will say okay, let me get database connection. So it will come to 27, it will create the database. So it will probably create a file called student.db, and then it will come after returning, it will come over here again. It will create this table inside that file, so in this file, and then it stops and then says app.run. When we do app.run, these two routes are ready to get consumed. Okay, so that's just a certain walkthrough, and let's just run it now. So python app.py, python part 1 backspace app.py. So no module name Flask. Okay, so in this VNV I don't have Flask installed, so pip install Flask. And okay, so I have half understanding, like I am just putting myself in your shoes. So I have half understanding and I am fine with it. Like I am okay. I am saying to myself that even if I have not understood all entire code completely, it is all right at this point of time. I'll come back. I'll test it now. I'll play around with it and I'll come back to this code and I'll try to understand the other things that I have not learned. Okay, so we ran the Flask and then Python part 1 app, control click. All right, so student list, and here we can say that I'm on the index file. So I just want to verify that I'm in the right file or not. So I'll open index and student list. I'll just make small change, double T, save, refresh. So it's double T. So I'm very much sure that, okay, it's the same file. So I'm good to go. And what is happening? Okay, students are being passed and no students yet, it says. So let's see. So we are looping it through a for loop, and then we are saying no students yet. Okay, and then I try add student, student added, go back to home, John Doe. I'll again click add student, and then it says go back to home. So same student is added, refresh, and now I will stop the server. I'll run the server again, and I'll refresh one more time just to see whether it is retaining the data or not. So let me refresh, and yes, the data is still the same. Let me add one more time, 3 times. Stop server, start server, refresh. Yes, Okay, so we can see that this student file is here, student.db, and I cannot open it directly. So I have an extension which allows me to open this file. So if I say open database SQLIte, so this extension you can install. You can go to extensions. Okay, so extensions has to be somewhere. Extensions, right? Control Shift X, and here if you type SQLIte, uh, this extension SQLIte is what you have to install. If you install it, and then after that, if you do Control Shift P, then it will come something like that. And then here, if you type SQLIte, it will say open database. Click on it, and automatically we'll see student_db. And here you can check the path. And here at the left, we have students.db. So you click on it. And now this at the bottom, I can see the SQLite Explorer. Here I will click on DB. And then I'll expand this and run this. And here I can see three students. Okay, so then the next step is again I'll walk you through my thought process. So I'll do Control B to remove that, Control Tab to go to App, and here I'll say okay, what is happening in the add route? So we are getting connection, then we are saying insert into students name values, and this is the syntax that we have to adhere to, which is in the student. So we have these three columns. So here we are saying that in the students table, name, email, and course are the three columns. So for each of these, insert these values which are given by question mark, and then here in the hard coded manner we are passing that value. So I will say okay, instead of John Doe, let's do Jane Doe now, and here I will do Jane Doe. And then Jane Doe is doing React, so I'll say React. I'll save it. Control J. This is refreshed, and go to the website. Refresh. Now I'll say add sample student. Student added. Go back, and now we see Jane Doe. And here, if I refresh this again, if I click on this show table, I can see Jane Doe over here at the right. So yes, so that's the part one of database. What we have understood is again, so ignore the part of this creation, as in terms of memorization or anything. This is like standard code. We have to do it every time if you want to use databases, especially the file-based databases. So I'll just understand. Okay, we are getting a connection, and then we are initializing database. We are creating database as well. We are creating a table as well in that database. And then here we are in the slash route, we are saying that select star from students. By star we mean all. And then we have the command called fetch all. Now there are many commands like this that we will ignore for now. Fetch all is all we want. And then for inserting, we see that okay, insert into students, put this signature and values. Now one last thing I'll say, okay, so we have the exercise over here as well. So we are saying add sample student, and that's what we did. Maybe in the part 2 we are doing few other things, but I may try something like this, that okay, so I will just I'll say now I want to create teachers.db. I'll say okay, I want to create something new, teachers.db, and then here I'll say okay, let's call table name, let's call teach. Okay, and then teacher name, teacher underscore name, and just one. So I'll ignore the other two for now. So I'll create a table like this, and I'll say select star from this table, teach. So I'll say teach, and here let's say teachers. I'll pass teachers. And for now, I'll keep the students because I don't want to make changes in the front end just yet. So I'll say students, let it be like that only. and insert into teach. We have only one teacher underscore name, so I'll take insert into teacher name and values. Okay, I'll do this, only one value, and then I'll say teacher name is Manas and remove the other things. I'll say teacher added. So I think I have made all changes that are needed if I wanted to make a small change there. And in the front end, it will still need something else. So in the front end, I'll say, okay, so we have teacher name and we are saying passing students. So let me do teachers only. So teachers equal to teachers. And we have only teacher name over here. So I'll copy it, go here, and I'll say teacher list, add sample teacher. We have teacher name. We don't have other things, so I'll delete it. And for T in teachers, because we are passing teachers, so we are passing teachers. So for T in teach, I'll say get T ID and get T teacher underscore name, because that's the name that we have given to our column. I'll save it and I'll say here no teachers yet. Saved, Control J, start the server. There is some syntax, line number 37. So let's go to app.py, line number 37. Okay, I think comma is not needed. Okay, and then if I see in the left side, we can see that teachers.db is there. So that's good. Then I want to see it in the table. So here I'll say Control Shift P, open database. Because of that extension teachers.db, it has come over here. I will right click. Inside that db we have only one table, so I'll open this table and it's a blank table. I can see that it's a blank table. I'll come here and it's blank. Add sample teacher. We made this change. Add sample teacher. Incorrect number of bindings applied. Current statement uses 1 and there are 5 supplied, so some sort of error, right? All right, so I can see that if students, so here we have to say if teachers, that is first, then insert into this is fine. Table name is teach. Select star from teach. Insert into teach. I think this looks fine so far. So okay, again I'll go back. Refresh. Add sample teacher. Current incorrect number of bindings supplied. Okay. So I have to debug this somehow. It looks like it's a backend error. So there is something to do with 1 and 5. Teachers.db is correct. Then yeah, you can help me in solving this issue as well if you are following properly. So we are getting the connection. Then table is created. Table was created, so that's good. Select star from teach, fetch all. So let me just print here once. Print teachers. Okay, and let me just see if I'm on the index route, what output I get over here. So let's go to index route and blank, which is fine. Add sample, right? So when we are here, we get add sample student, get database connection. So I'll say print no error till this point. If this line is executed, I know that there is no error. So let me run that again and refresh. And let's say no error till this point. So far so good. Then I'll say I'll move this here and let's see whether this insert statement is causing the issue or not. add, refresh, and yes. So the current statement uses one, there are 5 supplied, right? So we got the error here. So this means that the code is not come over here. So let's say uh, I'll take this here and then completed insert statement. Save, refresh, run. So we got this, but we did not get the other one. That means that the error is in the insert statement. So I have to carefully look into this statement now. So insert into teacher name values. So I think one thing is, passing this here. Question mark. Okay, so I'll, or otherwise I'll just use GPT now at this point of time. So okay, so teacher added. So okay, all right. So that means that if there is just one value, we have to have this comma after passing the value as well, even if there are multiple values. So we need this comma. And now if I go back home, the teacher is added, and again add sample teacher. Go back home, teacher is added. So yes. So what we saw was in the part 1, we first ran the project and then we made changes in the code, and we understood where to make changes if we are making changes in the database name, table name, columns. And this is how your thinking process has to be. Right? I haven't even looked into part 2 yet, but while doing part 1 itself, my mind was thinking, okay, let me just try another database and then I'll just go through that. And one thing got very clear, that here I need a comma. And how we checked was, we tried to print it, the statement before it, we tried to see whether it is coming here, where, etc. We tried to find the error location. So we understood that the problem is somewhere in line number 66, and then we tried to deep dive. All right, so I think this gives a good understanding. Again, I think you can now continue with part 1 and then the next parts. Yes. All right, I'll stop it here.